The calm is over. Bangladesh is protesting again. And these are not violent protests like before. They're more scattered. But Sheikh Hasina is not taking any chances. She has deployed riot police across Dhaka. The idea is to contain the situation to make sure that it does not spread. But I know what you're wondering. Didn't the court agree to the students' demand? Well, they did. The Supreme Court of Bangladesh has cancelled most quotas. Around 93% of jobs are now quota-free. And this decision was made on the 21st of July, after which the protests were called off. But the story did not end, because the fallout of the protest was not addressed. You see, more than 200 people had died in the violence. Thousands were left injured, and almost 10,000 protesters had been arrested, 10,000. So student groups issued an ultimatum. They had two demands from the government. One, release student leaders and protesters from jail, and two, an apology from Sheikh Hasina, the Prime Minister. That's what they wanted. Now, neither has happened yet. So on Monday, the protests resumed. Around 20 people were arrested from the outskirts of Dhaka. There are also reports of sporadic violence. The question is, will it spiral out of control? The United Nations is certainly worried about that.
The Secretary General remains deeply concerned about the situation in Bangladesh. He notes the reports of the resumption of student protests today and reiterates his call for calm and restraint. He is also alarmed by emerging reports about the excessive use of force by security forces and credible evidence of human rights violation.
How is Sheikh Hasina responding to this? She doesn't seem like the apology kind. As for the arrests, there is no timeline. The government will decide whether to prosecute or release them. But she is considering one move: to ban the Jamaat-e-Islami. Now, the Jamaat-e-Islami is an Islamist group in Bangladesh. They were part of the quota protests. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has blamed them for orchestrating the violence, and she could be right, because the Jamaat has a violent past in Bangladesh. They are known for hijacking protests. In 2018, the Jamaat was deregistered as a political party, and now they could be banned altogether. A minister has already confirmed this move, so it's only a matter of time. And it's a good move. No more political mobilization, no more radical press conferences, and no more hijacking. It is the right way to deal with extremists. But what about the students? What is the government's policy towards them? We have to say it's far from ideal. Just consider what happened this month. The students organized protests against job quotas. How did Sheikh Hasina respond? She compared these students to Razakars. That's people who collaborated with Pakistan in 1971. Basically anti-nationals. Razakar is considered a huge insult in Bangladesh. And that comment from the Prime Minister made things worse. Then there was a crackdown, a very brutal crackdown. Was it really necessary to issue shoot-and-sight orders? Or to use live ammunition on crowds? In hindsight, it wasn't. This whole issue could have been handled better, and that's the lesson here. Large-scale violence is never the answer. Maybe the demands are unfair, maybe it's beyond a government's mandate, but still you cannot lash out, because all said and done, these are still your people. These are still the citizens of your country. And don't get us wrong, sometimes you do have to use force to maintain order, but killing 200 protesters is extreme. So our message to leaders is pretty simple. Your words and actions matter. It can be the difference between protest and anarchy. So be mindful of that. Sheikh Hasina still has a chance to redeem herself. The country needs closure after days of violence and deaths, and she can provide that. Now is the time to rise above political differences, to heal the divisions, and to call for unity. Let's see if the Prime Minister of Bangladesh seizes the opportunity.
Across continents, one powerful news source.
Bringing you diverse perspectives on the issues that matter.
go beyond the boundaries to give you that little extra about every sporting moment.
So thank you for making Firstpost 5 million strong. We're counting on your support, and you can trust us to bring you the news unfiltered and unvarnished.
Climate change is on our doorstep. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree for humanity, one tree for Mother Earth, one tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
On the today, the T20 World Cup bandwagon has moved across to the West Indies. What can we expect